1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
Very observant, you would know, and they know if the hairdresser knows what she or he done, and but my wife, she always does me a favor. She come in and she'll say, "Oh, you never guess what kind of day I've had today. I went to the hairdressers. I had a 9 o'clock appointment. I got there, and this person left their key at home. So I'm like, okay, I know where this is going. So just go with the flow." Go on, sorry.
That is better. Going with the flow is better for both of you.
It just saves you a lot of headache, you know. So yeah. What was the question again?
Well, I think we've done that question, but I've just realised this next question, probably our last one, time-wise. Right. I didn't realise it sort of follows on in a way, but it's not related to the previous question. The question is, do you think boxing should be banned? Now, that's not related to having a fight with your wife after you said the wrong thing. But boxing is arguably a very dangerous sport. And I think it's true to say these days that there are more women getting into boxing, partly as a keep fit thing, but also because there's no reason they shouldn't enjoy the art of boxing in the same way that a man does. But given what a lot of doctors say, that it is a very, very dangerous sport, and let's face it, it's going to be one of the only sports where it's legalized killing. If you end up killing somebody, and boxers do die every year, some boxers die from brain damage, that the opponent is not prosecuted for manslaughter. It's a legalized way to kill somebody in reality. So what's both your view? Come to you first, Jerome. Do you think boxing, perhaps you might say, well, I'll go along with it for men because it's always been there. It's a way some men get their stresses, their, male programming out of their system, but I would ban it for women. And would that be fair? Because for 50 years, we know that women's football in this country was banned in an arranged sort of setting. From the 20s to the 70s, women could not play football in an organised way. Now that cannot be right. So would we say, we don't want, women, their bodies are different, they bring and nurture babies. Is it right to risk their physical, health by boxing? So what's your view, Jerome, on boxing generally, and then would you split it between men and women in any way?
Well, boxing is a very entertaining sport, and my view, personal perspective on boxing, going into any sport is by choice, but what I think the organizers should do is to make more, should I say, legislatures or laws to protect people. I know for like in amateurs division, they use these the headgear just to protect. Yeah, I think they should make more regulations that will protect individuals. Probably when the referee uses his imagination and think, okay, this shouldn't go on. Just make more law, just do regulation, just to keep people safe, and not to, at the end of the day, not to, like Muhammad Ali. I think if I'm not wrong, he had Parkinson's or something at the end of his life.
Yeah.
So the referee should know when to stop matches, and the organization.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang. With fun. The organization in charge should make more regulations to protect every sportsman and woman that are into boxing. taking boxing out of it completely, I might not be in support of that, because there are lots of families that fit from there, it's a way of life for many people. So I would say no, but just look at the regulations. So I'm sure they do research on boxers or ex-boxers, see what sort of sickness they do after retirement and stuff like that. What would have led to it? Probably punch to the head. So I'm sure they should make regulations and just to protect some of these boxers so that they don't end up like that in future. So
okay.
Don't take.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Cuz?
I hate violence. I will not watch boxing. I do not watch boxing. I don't think it's a sport. I think it's just an violent act from one individual to another. I detest it. But I know it will always be there because I have no control over it. But yeah, I don't like boxing. So mine is just a simple and straight answer. Any form of violence, I don't condone.
Yep, that's a very clear answer. And I think, as you probably implied there, if you try to ban it, it will go underground anyway. It would always be there. Yeah. And I think there's a wider situation, isn't there? Because if we live in a society generally which is quick at banning things, it becomes kind of it over-regulates maybe a society. Now, of course, some things should be banned, but maybe there is some justification in some people's minds that, to train somebody boxing-wise, especially as Jerome said, if they wear those head guards, maybe it's a good means of bringing up some kids, boys and girls. It teaches them fitness and other things. And maybe it's in this day and age, it's a means of protecting an individual, whether it's one of our kids or whoever. If you're trained in the art of self-defense, if you like, then that can be not a bad thing. But banning things just because there are risks may not be the way forward, really. No. Another example, in football, we know factually now that heading the ball, especially in years gone by when the balls were much heavier, a lot of footballers from years ago have gone on to develop dementia, which has eventually ended their lives. And I think it still happens. And I think doctors remain concerned that heading balls nowadays, even though they are lighter, because it comes from a great height very often, when they head the ball, it hits them a bit, like a smash in the head. It can be and will probably be for some people very dangerous, particularly for, say, defenders, who often are the people heading most of the balls. I think nowadays it's true to say in training they deliberately don't head the ball so much, particularly in the women's game. They don't train so much with heading it for the reasons we've said. But yeah, I don't think that would make us ban football or ban heading in football, because the game would lose so much of what it is. So I think society, I guess, has to accept some risks. I'm like both of you, really. I think boxing, I've never really understood it, why people want to knock 7 bells out of each other, which is what happens, and it is very, very dangerous. I can't remember the boxer's name, but some years ago, Chris Eubank, I know he's a boxer. I think his son is also a boxer. Yeah. But Chris Eubank, he injured a boxer called Michael something, who was then left brain damaged. I mean, it's not Chris Eubank's fault. He was just doing the job he did. But this is an example. And as you said, Muhammad Ali, I think you said, Jerome, ended up with Parkinson's, and a wonderfully intelligent man in his younger days. And yet to see him towards the end of his life, he could barely put a sentence together. So, yeah, it can do some awful things. But it's one of those things that I don't know. I think we've all shown we would like it not to be there, but we wouldn't necessarily want to say you can't do it, because things that are banned often do go underground, so to speak, anyway, don't they? So that's boxing. So that's running out of our time, I think. So back to you, Cuz.
Yeah. Do you want to do the closing remark for us, please, Rob?
Yeah, indeed. Well, that was our take on a few questions today, which we hope you found sort of interesting, at least. I'm Trevor Gear, and he calls me Bruv.
And I'm Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cuz. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me and Jeremy up there, who we call the Brummy King.
The Brummy King,
been
yeah.
good with us today as well, the Brummy King. Goodbye to you then, Jerome.
Right, so bye everyone.
Bye then. So same time tomorrow, Cuz.
Yeah, so
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang.